Alright world, how's things? It's quite a good day here in Scotland. Well, decent anyway. Well, you know when a Scottish man's saying it's a good day, it's probably snowing. But it isn't snowing, it's quite a nice day. Look for yourself. It's not the bluest of skies, but the trees are calm. Glasgow, sunny Glasgow for you. No sunshine, but really cloudy, but it's a nice day. Anyway, just wanted to make this update anyway, this video for an update. What I've been up to recently, I've actually just been staying in, going on the internet and just abusing it basically, just learning as much as I can and getting as much knowledge. Because you know knowledge is power. Without the knowledge, obviously, you're nothing. Cunts can just say anything they want and just try and bring you down. So get the knowledge and learn that the system's been built by certain people. So there's ways around it. We never need to, like, for instance, learn how to deal with the police. If you've never done anything wrong, or if you've not got anything on you or anything like that, then if they pull you in the street and they ask for your name, you've got no reason to give them that. So you can ask, am I obliged to answer that, officer? And they'll give you an answer back, whatever that may be, but you can carry it on from there. You don't need to give your name if you've not done anything wrong. But been up to a few other things as well, but I have just been staying in, really just trying to keep myself and look up a lot of things. Hopefully I shall balance here. Aye. I've got the jotter back out. I've got my pad out, and I've started writing a few poems and a few rhymes, bars, whatever you want to call it. It's not too bad. I'll need to do a video updating that, definitely. We need, apart from doing a few rhymes and stuff like that and looking up a lot of knowledge, I've not really been up to much. Just try to get back to fitness. Need to start getting out on my bike again, man. I've let that go a wee bit. Start doing a lot more things, get out there and get exercise, because I'm letting the exercise go a wee bit. You need the knowledge, yes, but you need to do a lot of exercise without a doubt. But aye, I definitely need to do a video of a wee rap soon, man, because I've not done one in ages, and see how I've progressed. Not that much, just a wee bit, you know. But see if this is basically what I wanted to say as well. See, cannabis, know how it's like legalised or decriminalised in certain places like California, Colorado, even in Portugal and Holland and all that. Right, I think whether you agree, whether you smoke cannabis or not, I think everybody would agree to a certain extent that it would be better being legal. And the reasons that it would be better being legal, because if you look at the countries where it is already decriminalised and legal, there's less crime. There's like the rates of crime's right down, and whereas before they legalised it, decriminalised it, there was a lot of crime in these places. So that it seems to, number one, cannabis, it frees the crime. I would say it makes people more aware of what they're doing. If it was legalised, there wouldn't be any crime. There would be crime, or there would be still people out fighting and doing all that stuff, but personally I think when you smoke cannabis, smoke weed, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, it lets you focus more and it lets you think more on things you want to know. So since I've started smoking cannabis, and that's been a few years now, man. Since I started smoking cannabis anyway, it's opened my mind up to other things. And you could say that's just with age, obviously, because I was younger at the time. I may not have known things at that time, and then as I'm 21 now, and so you may think it's the age where I've got the more knowledge, but I personally think marijuana has a little to do with it, because when you smoke cannabis, it makes you focused and it makes you want to learn things, it makes you want to know things, and cannabis has never been, it's never killed anybody, so why don't they make it legal? And if, what is it exactly they say? Cannabis has never killed anybody through the history of mankind, so what is it exactly they say it does? Do they say it destroys your brain cells? It makes you prone to do something crazy more? They're working around the lines. They've not got an actual fact. They can't tell you what cannabis actually does. I'll tell you what cannabis actually does, but it helps you get a good sleep. It helps you relax more in this modern stressed out world. The anxiety of all the pressure, the taxes and work and stuff. So they'll not want cannabis legal no matter what. They might do it in some places, but all over it's never going to happen right now anyway. It's all about control. And even if there is something bad about cannabis, hold on, I get water 2 seconds. Even if there is something bad about cannabis, like if it does it and that, label it, make it legal, put it in dispensaries or shops or whatever, and write what it does to you on it, as they do with cigarettes and alcohol and stuff like that. They tell you smoking kills, they tell you like what alcohol does, but they still sell it. So why don't they just make it legal and sell cannabis and all these other drugs that are harmless? Because drugs that are legal, I think children find it harder to get, because, like, for instance, if somebody's wanting alcohol or something like that, if you're wanting a booze, that's a Scottish term, a booze, but you're going to have to ask somebody, aren't you? If you're underage, you're going to have to ask about, and the chances of them getting in are more slimmer than you probably knowing somebody underage who sells drugs. So you've got much more of a chance of getting your hands on illegal stuff, I would say. So why don't they just change that? Why don't they make it better for the young ones? Start making it smarter, start educating people instead of just keeping it all on the sidelines. Because marijuana, it's been getting used for thousands upon thousands of years before the name drug was even invented. So whether you want to call it a drug or not, it's up to you, but in my eyes it's a plant, because it was here before the name drug was invented. And to me, what a drug is, what a drug actually is, well, I don't know for certain, but they say a drug's something that alters your body, changes your mind, like intoxicates you. Right, cannabis does do that, a lot of other things do that, but it's not man-made. It's not as if there's pills being manufactured together in pharmaceuticals or whatever. It's cannabis, it's a plant that comes from dirt. So there's no negative. The negatives are there for you to see, just the same as anything. Any drug that's out there, like alcohol, even sugar, the negatives are there. So why? That's what I think Scotland would really benefit, if we were like Colorado or something like that. I really think we should take on board what brothers are doing from across there, the border. No, but I really think we should do what they're doing over in America and stuff like that. This video was just a bit random yet again, but it's best like that. It's best just putting your video on and just randomly doing it. But I've been doing a few other things as well. Facebook, that's quite addictive, as you all know. Facebook is really addictive. Talk about drugs, man. Facebook, Twitter, and any of these ones, these are the biggest things. But if you're on Facebook and that, you may as well use it for good things now if you're on it. So I'm trying. I've made a page called Freedom of Thought. Check that out. Basically what that is every single day a picture or a bit of information will be posted up on that Facebook page about the government or something like that, that these media rich people would not tell you. So go on Facebook, check it out, add me first of all, William Waugh, and check out the page Freedom of Thought. I'll leave it in the description, so I will. check that out. That's basically it. But cannabis, look that up, look up the truth about cannabis, and everybody should have an open mind about it. And the more and more, like, before the internet, we all had to rely on our own knowledge. We all had to think for ourselves, but now that the internet's here, we're actually getting a little bit more help for other people, and we're all uniting together. Now, if you don't like cannabis, fair enough. I'm not asking anybody to smoke it, but I'm just asking you to admit that the war on drugs is costing far too much money, and it's mucking us all up. And the money is going. See this war on drugs, most of it, it's going right into the back pockets of the rich, and it's only to benefit the rich anyway. They only want to control us. Fuck, most of these people, most of these bankers are probably on all the drugs, probably on cocaine, the lot. Don't let them kid you on, telling you like cannabis makes you do this and that, when all the most successful people, companies in the world, from Steve Jobs, Apple, for instance, he's been known to use cannabis, that's the way I put it. But, so how can you say cannabis makes you dumb if all the most successful people in the world, not makes you dumb but takes your brain, destroys brain cells? How can you say that? How can they say that if, like Bob Marley, Tupac, all the most successful people in the world, they all tried it, or they all done it one way or another, and really a lot. You know what I mean? There's millions of drugs out there, DMT, magic mushrooms, fucking, you name it. Not man-made drugs. I don't really support man-made, but look and see, because before the word drug was even invented, years ago, the real people from these in Amazon, the rainforest and that, they knew what it was, and now we've just been brainwashed by liars and liars and liars. That's it basically. We've been brainwashed off a TV, we've been brainwashed off radio, papers, everything. So obviously we are going to believe these people. At the end of the day, they are the professionals, so if they say something in a paper or on the news, we will believe it. But that isn't true. Believe me, if you want the truth, go to the people that aren't trying to make money from what they're writing. Go to people who really know. Go to people who love. Go to people who know what life is about. Anyway, man, this video's starting to go a bit long, and I just want to say peace out, people. Love yous all. Keep it up. Keep up the good work. Cannabis is the one and only.